Hey, what's up, Inter Miami fans and everyone else, and welcome to the latest edition of Miami Total Football. Well, Inter Miami is back to losing ways after falling 1-0 to Nashville SC in the first meeting between the 2020 expansion clubs on Sunday night. An Anibal Godoy goal early in the second half proved to be the difference, and for Inter Miami, that meant a 6th defeat in this inaugural season. Now, from a performance standpoint, it wasn't necessarily poor overall for Inter Miami, but it was a far cry from the display they had in the historic victory against Orlando City a week ago. Inter Miami came out of the gates a little slowly, a little tentatively, unable to keep possession, unable to connect on passes, and unable to really threaten Nashville SC in that final third. It wasn't until around the 30th, 32nd, 33rd minute that Inter Miami started to pick it up a little bit, started to find a rhythm, find the game more, and as a result started to create more danger. They still didn't overly test Nashville SC goalkeeper Joe Willis, but they ended the first half much better than they started it. Unfortunately for Inter Miami, the second half also began poorly. They gave up a goal just 8 minutes into the second stanza. Andres Reyes awkwardly tried to clear across with his knees, and the ball trickled along the top of the 18-yard box to Anibal Godoy, who made no mistake with his ensuing shot. Now, after that, Inter Miami didn't muster up an immediate response. In fact, it took until around the 74th minute when Diego Alonso made all 5 of his permitted substitutions in one moment, yes, just like in a video game, that Inter Miami started to react more, started to pour numbers forward, and started to look a little more lively and dangerous in the final third. Again, though, they weren't able to overly test Joe Willis. There were few shots put on target, and the ones that were put on frame were saved by routine stops from the Nashville SC goalkeeper. After the match, Inter Miami players and head coach Diego Alonso spoke about the performance and said while they would have liked to start the game a little bit better, they thought the result was a bit unjust. Leandro Gonzalez Pires used that exact word to describe what he thought had transpired over the 90 minutes, while head coach Diego Alonso pointed to the shot count. Inter Miami won in that department, and Diego Alonso used that as a reason to maybe explain why he thought his team deserved more out of this one. Alonso, however, did not agree with the notion that his team did not create all that many clear-cut opportunities on the night.
En cuanto que no tuvimos oportunidades claras, no, lo siento, pero la perspectiva tuya y la mía son diferentes. Lo puedo entender, pero no lo comparto.
It's clear, however, at this point that Inter Miami's starting lineup needs some changes. Obviously, they're still waiting for Blaise Matuidi to arrive. There's still no exact date on when he'll be able to join the group. But even aside from him, if you're just looking at the current roster that stands as is, Inter Miami probably needs to make some changes at this point. The lineup needs a little bit more quality. It needs a little bit of a difference, a little different look or a different feel, because the group just doesn't have it in terms of building up out of the back, in terms of being able to create chances from the run of play, clear-cut chances from the run of play, regardless of what Alonso said post-game. And a couple changes that we could see might be Breck Shea coming into the starting lineup. Shea was lively again for the second straight match off the bench, looked good getting up and down that left wing, particularly in the final third, with his ability to combine with Lee Nguyen and Rodolfo Pizarro. Lee Nguyen was another player that maybe deserves a start. He hasn't had one to this moment, but he looked good again in his minutes off the bench. As for who could get dropped, well, Matias Pellegrini is certainly an option. The youngster had a good game against Orlando City a week ago, but reverted back to what we've seen from him throughout most of this season against Nashville SC, in which he looked lost, wasn't able to find the game much, and had trouble on both sides of the ball. Rodolfo Pizarro also had a tough game, but never expect him to come out of the lineup. He's obviously one of Inter Miami's best players. However, he definitely had arguably his worst performance in an Inter Miami jersey to date against Nashville SC. But that about does it for now. Make sure you stay tuned to Miami Total Football for more news, analysis, and coverage of Inter Miami. And don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'm Franco Panizo. We'll see you next time.